All right, good day. Coach Bricks here with the Performance Restoration and Earth Strong. I wanted to talk to you about migraines, all right, or headaches. You'd be surprised at how many kids of today and people in general get this condition. All right, now I know there's a neurological component that we talk about to it when it comes to migraines and stuff, but I try to look at it a little differently. All right, and over the past probably, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I've had a couple people who come into me and said, I've had these headaches that have gone on for a while. One in particular came after they suffered a concussion. They got better, but then later on, a couple months later, started having headaches where it was limiting them. They were going to school, couldn't do anything. They went to see doctors, got medication. They upped the medication, still no really difference whatsoever. Still couldn't go to school because it bothered them. So they asked me if I could take a look, and I said, sure, no problem. Not really in my wheelhouse per se, but I'm always willing to learn and try to help people get out of pain, because that's what I really want to do in life, is help people learn about how to take care of their own body and get them out of pain. So I looked at it, and the first thing I noticed, I said, well, here's your issue. I said, your neck is protruding out like this, coming forward. So if you look at me from the side here, here's my neck. This is how their neck was naturally. And I said, you have this issue. And I said, all right. So I started doing some of my poking and prodding. Excuse me. To figure out what was wrong, where they were getting discomfort, where things weren't going right. And I found out, all the muscles in the back of their neck. Now remember, your rhomboid would go all the way up into here, up into your head. So she said, yeah, they're really painful. Okay. So with that, my other coach and I came up with a program. All right, my coach came up with a bunch of different exercises. I told him what area we needed to focus on. And 3 weeks later, that individual has been in school, has not missed a day, headaches are completely gone, and guess what? No medication. That was from just taking simple, common understanding of how the human body is, listening to the person, and then developing something so they could overcome it. And this is something that we don't do extremely well in the medical field. We're so quick because we get reimbursed no matter if I see a person for a second, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. It doesn't matter. We get reimbursed for that quickly amount of time. So the more people we can see, the more we get reimbursed. And sometimes it's not their fault. I mean, let's be honest. Too many people go to the doctors for every little thing. There's no reason we're going for all this. Our healthcare system isn't really a healthcare system. It's a sick care system. It's not really treating health, because if we treated health, we wouldn't see as many people. But that's what I'm trying to get people to understand with my whole program in performance restoration, is trying to get people to understand your body is the greatest healing mechanism ever. God designed it. I mean, honestly, how could you get any better than that man right there, God, the supreme being, designing us in the image and likeness of him? I mean, it's just unreal. And yet we don't trust that he put all these mechanisms in place for us to survive if we got a better understanding of our body. And that's where Earth Strong comes in, because when I talk about Earth Strong, it's the spiritual understanding of your body, it's the mental understanding, and it's the physical. Okay? You could change mental over to a soul, okay, or spirit, over to soul. So I'm trying to understand the other aspect of who I am, but that's what we don't do. We don't take that time. The other individual who came to me with headaches, and they've been increasing over this time. I haven't said much to him because, like I said, I finally got to a point where he was struggling pretty bad, and I said, what are you doing for it? Nothing. It just hurts. Going to school, blah blah blah. So once again, I went to check a certain area, and boom, what happened? Tight there. Now, will he listen and do the things I say? That's up to him. Okay, I can't make him or force him. I'm just showing him a way of how to get at it. Is it discomfort right now? There's no question about it. Trying to get him back into place, okay, get his body in line, right? is difficult. But that goes for everything we do. Okay? I did it to myself. For 6 months, it was extremely difficult for me to change my movement pattern to get right. But when I did, guess what? 5 years later, I don't have the pain. So was it worth it? 100%. For dealing with it, it wasn't quite 6 months. I got better by the 6-month mark, but getting over that, where it's just constantly killing me, right? Walking, trying to get out of a car. That was probably a good 2 weeks where the discomfort of me trying to change, heightened up a little bit higher. But after that, it started to decrease. And it decreased pretty quickly at the beginning. So it went from 100%, pain where it just hurt all the time. So all right, now I can get by, man. It's 50%. So 30%, it's not too bad. And then eventually, I got rid of it because I figured I was wrong. And then if it starts to come back, I know how to eliminate it before it ever gets to that point. And that's what I try to teach people how to do. I do believe we have that inside of us. We don't have to live with this pain. We don't have to live with this discomfort. We don't have to. But you got to take time to understand your body. You need somebody to help guide you at first, and then you to understand and dive deeper into who you are. We are so much deeper beings than what we do because we're so superficial in our way of how we think and what we do, in the sense of we want comfort. That's not what the human body wants. The body does not want comfort. Okay? It wants to be uncomfortable. We made it comfortable because we're lazy, we don't want to deal with certain things, so we just push everything aside to get rid of it. It's like kicking the can down the road. All right, I know I should do this, but I'm not going to. And then when you're 70 years old, it's not too late, but it's later in life, and now you have all these issues. Instead of stopping most of those way before, then you wouldn't have that problems. So the headaches, you don't have to continue to get headaches, and there's ways out of it. And it's funny because when you do the research on how to mitigate concussions, the main thing is strengthening the neck. And what I mean by the neck is just all these muscles in here, especially in the front, okay? Because we're very weak there. The back tend to be very tight, so we got to make sure we loosen them up. But also the upper back, shoulder muscles, they tend to be extremely weak as well. So we got to strengthen that up. But isn't it amazing? You get that stronger, and guess what went away? Because she had the concussion, right? Some of that went away, and then all of a sudden she started having, chronic, headaches, migraines, stuff like that. Doctors couldn't figure it out what's related to the concussion, related to the concussion. And maybe it was related to somewhat of the concussion, but had more deeper than that. And we got to stop this. We got to stop the train that we're on. This is a train wreck we're in because we don't want to take time to actually fix these things. Take time, understand your body, watch what you can do. Have yourself a blessed day. God bless you. Remain unsolved.